Going live to YouTube. Here we go. Instead of setting up. Sorry. Here we go. Welcome everyone to today's meeting.
Morning.
Good morning. And today is December 30th. We're doing our our last meeting of the month. It is our Transcontinental meeting. So we're going to make this a fun and interesting meeting. We're going to start off though with the Pledge of Allegiance for the United States. I also this meeting is based in the United States, but it's also we are going to pay homage to our friends from the other side of the pond as well. So John, if you please.
Thank you.
Sorry, guys, I got kicked out of my own meeting.
That must be a sign.
Yes. Did we do the Pledge of Allegiance?
No, not yet.
Okay. Can you back it up a little?
Under other circumstances, I might have stood up.
Here we are.
All right. We're going to go to the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States
of America.
And
to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
And now we're going to move to the four-way test. I think we kind of skipped over, right? And this is the four-way test of the things that we think and say and do in our everyday lives, which is one, is it the truth? Is it fair
to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Excellent. Thank you. And we do have our reflections and prayer from Lon Clemmer.
Yes, I'm here, Dan.
All right.
Morning.
Well, thanks. Good morning.
Let's pray. Dear God, as we come together today as Rotarians, we give you thanks for the good gifts you give to us. We ask for your guidance in our lives, and we pray that your love would live amongst us all. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Oh, thank you. And now we're going to move to a message from our district governor. We are District 7430. Our district governor has a few words from her monthly message.
Dan, there was also a quote.
that quote, that's for me at the very end. Oh, skip that, skip. Right. That's for the very end.
Okay.
It's December. The holidays are upon us. I hope that you are finding joy and peace in the midst of our current times. We are halfway through our year of Rotary Opens Opportunities. The service and projects taking place around the district continue to show the power of our connections with each other and with our communities. Thank you for being people of action. Thank you for caring.
The biggest impact that Rotary has had on me has been in opening up service opportunities for me around the Lehigh Valley, where I live and work. I first got involved with Meals on Wheels through Rotary, where I ultimately became board president of the Lehigh County Meals on Wheels right before the merger with Northampton County. I also have been able to coordinate a couple projects with Habitat for Humanity, which have been really awesome and rewarding. It's been fun going out with a crew from our club and working on houses. This last project we just did a couple months ago, we actually had people from other clubs join us as well, which was really fun. and it's nice to just see your work right away making an impact. We also have loved in the past getting to do dictionary day. I love going out to Hiram Dodd, where I went to elementary school, and delivering dictionaries to all the third graders there. And also getting to go out to do romper day with the Allentown Parks day camp that they do. And we really have been having a good time trying to come up with different ideas, out of the box thinking, to come up with some different community service activities for this year. So I encourage everyone to really engage with your community service committee at your club and see what you guys can do to make an impact in your community.
We're a new club, only about 4 years old. When we began, we found that there were some other great organizations in our community, but there were some needs that just weren't being met. So our Rotary came into action. And really, what it comes down to is a lot of folks that just want to really do service above self. And that's what we've been doing. We're very active in our community, and we help a lot with the high school, with mock interviews, career day. So I do encourage you, if you would like to get involved and you're not quite sure what to do, contact your local Rotary. You'll find that there's other great folks out there that want to help the community as well as you.
I'm Mustafa Jaffer, and this is my brother Murtaza. Excuse me. Hello? Hi, Gwen. Oh my god, we missed the Rotary meeting. We will be right there, Mom. Okay, bye. Hello again. Oops. I'm Mustafa, and this is my brother Murtaza, and we're both very proud members of the Allentown West Rotary Club, and we're dedicating this video to our late father, Safdar Ali Jaffer, our mom, who is here with us, Mumtaz Jaffer, and our godparents, Gwen and Gary.
Absolutely. Many years ago, when we didn't know anything about Rotary, Gwen and Gary were the ones who invited us to become members and learn more about community service through the Rotary clubs.
The Rotary Club has given us the opportunity to develop our relationships with the community in a very positive manner, whether it's through our business or more importantly, whether it's through giving back to the community.
So let's do good things. Let's do great service, and let's help our communities through the Rotary clubs in the Lehigh Valley and globally. God bless. Happy holidays.
Take care.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, John. All right. And actually, this meeting came from us actually having a My Rotary Story type thing that we did in the beginning of my year. And it came from a story from Mr. Larry Moss, who talked about you guys going from Harleysville to Europe to meet up with the club over there. So My Rotary Story, and part of this is I'm recording this so that we can possibly use this as our new Rotary Story, just continuing the legacy. So John, if you can stop the share, we're going to go full screen and I'd like to welcome everybody. Oh, Jack, you're in North Carolina. I'd like to welcome everybody. And also, if you can for the guests, if you can let us know who you are and what club you're currently with. I'll end with Kendall. Ann R.
Good morning. I'm Ann Rostowski, and I was a member of the Harleysville group about 10 years ago. I think I was the treasurer for a while, and my job took me to a location that didn't allow me to be at Harleysville at 7 a.m. So I was no longer with Rotary. But I saw Dean the other day at Harleysville Bank, and he invited me to come today. I'm retired now. I retired this year. So maybe you'll see more of me.
All right. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Ninja Nick, UK.
Hi there. Yes, I'm Nick from the UK. I'm currently treasurer of Hertfordshire's Rotary Club, one of the three, actually the 5 in our local area. But I have been former president twice, in fact, and now the treasurer. Welcome, everybody. Thank you.
All right. Welcome. Welcome. Jim Heller.
Yes, I was a member of the Harleysville Club from 2003 to 2017 and served as president for 1 year. And during my year, we started the Rotary four-way test breakfast, which I understand has grown quite a bit. I don't claim credit for the idea. That was Greg McGovern who brought it in from the Doylestown Club, but I pushed for it. And the first year we had 38 people, next year we had 49, and the third year we had over 100. So I have left a legacy there. I'm quite happy. Currently, I'm president of the Newtown Square Rotary Club. I had a life change, meaning I got remarried, and so that we live down there. I think it's great that you're having this meeting. It's very creative and important to share between countries. So looking forward to the meeting.
Definitely. Thanks for joining us. And Philip Walter.
Hello. Greetings, everyone. I'm a founder member of Hertford Shires, the same club that Kendall, Nick and Russell belong to. We meet for breakfast normally at 7 o'clock every Wednesday morning. I was president last year, and at the moment I'm a membership officer, trying to trawl around and get new members for our club. But it's good to be with you all.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Jack Brent.
Yes, sir. How do I
Oh, yeah, your volume's on. You're on.
I'm on?
Yes.
Okay. Charter member of the Harleysville Club, a past president of the Harleysville Rotary Club. With the help of the Rotary Club, I became a district governor in District 7430 back in 2001, 2002. Very challenging times at that point. Eventually got to the point where I retired. And in retirement, decided it would be a lot more fun to shovel rain than to shovel snow. So we moved south to North Carolina, because my wife, who passed it a few years back, was from North Carolina, originally born here. So, and the next thing you know, I'm now in District 7730. And when Frank Romano was the district governor from the Harleysville Club, the Rotary International president's representative was from this particular district, 7730. So it's a lot of connections there.
Yes.
And been proud to have been able to serve and go on a number of Rotoplast missions when I was a member of the Harleysville Club, and on an NID to India for polio back in 2004. So it seems like a lifetime ago. But anyway, awesome. Yeah, and I remember Kendall.
Yes.
I mean, we had some great times together as a club. Thank you.
Yes. I know that this has been a long time that you guys have not been in contact with each other. So one of the things that we are going to do is I'm going to ring the bell at 8 o'clock. And if you guys are okay, I'll leave the Zoom open. So if you wanted to talk and commiserate after the official meeting, we're going to allow some extra time for that. It doesn't cost any extra, so I'll leave it open for as long as you guys want to meet. All right. But officially, we're going to end at 8 o'clock. All right. I'm going to move to Russell Norris.
Yes, Russell Norris. I'm a member of Hertford Shires Rotary Club. And although I'm not a founder member, I joined about a week too late to be a founder member. So I must say I've enjoyed my time as Rotarian, and I'm the grandfather of the club.
All right. And we have another member. I think you should probably join this club as well. BJ Metz.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I'm with the Rotary Club of Easton. I'm currently president of the club, and oddly enough, I'm also president-elect of the club. I don't know how that happens. I served as governor of District 7430 2 years after Jack did, 17 years ago already. It's amazing how the time goes.
Yes. Well, thanks for joining us again, BJ. And we also have our district governor-elect, Bob Hobaugh.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to see everyone on this Zoom meeting. Jack, I'm so surprised and delighted to see you. I knew we were going to be international, but I didn't know we'd be in the Carolinas.
Oh yeah, you're always welcome. You're always welcome.
So we're tri-coastal, is that right?
Coastal, yeah.
Right. All right. And did I miss anyone? I still have Kendall. Let's see. All right. All right. Welcome, everybody. And we are going to go with Rotary Trivia. Kendall, you're going to do your presentation after.
What about Elizabeth, Dan?
Elizabeth, I don't see Elizabeth. Okay, if there's anybody that I missed, thank you.
Yeah. So shall I take it because I can see? So we'll start with Elizabeth. Elizabeth.
Hello, Kendall. Hello, everybody. Yes, I've been a member of Hertfordshire since 1997. I'm a retired district nurse working for our National Health Service, and I now serve on the community committee, and I can thoroughly recommend Rotary.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Elizabeth.
We've also got Hamish. Hamish.
Morning, everybody. I'm Hamish.
He's not English, though.
He's not.
Sorry.
I'm a Scotsman.
Oh,
the accent is still quite strong, even though I've been living in England for 30 years. Yes, I've been a member for, I think, 13, something like that, years, past secretary, past president, and active on club service at the moment.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Hamish.
And we've also got Ian and his beloved, Ian.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, we're Ian and Rosemary Woodall, and we're members of the Hertfordshire's Rotary Club in the UK. I'm a past president, and I've been a Rotarian for about 25 years.
Wow. Thanks for joining us.
And my name is not beloved, it's Rosemary. And I've been a member, I think, about 5 years now, and thoroughly enjoy it. I chair the community committee, who are a great bunch of people, and it's just been such a joy to find ways of putting service above self during these difficult times when we're more needed than ever.
Are you okay, Blake?
Yes, yes. Well, thanks for joining us, beloved. And
I think that's it from Hertfordshire. If not, please scream at me.
There we go. Moana is from is that North Bend? Moana? Are you able to unmute? Okay. All right, Valerie. All right. So we're going to move to thank you, everybody, for joining us. Really appreciate it. If you can mute, I'm asking everyone to mute themselves so that our next portion, we're going to run straight through Rotary Trivia, after Rotary Trivia, and then you're on, Kendall. All right.
Thanks.
So this is Rotary Trivia. Larry and Phil, you guys can take it away. There you go.
Larry, if you would, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be, we are pleased to bring you another exciting edition of Rotary Trivia. Join us as one lucky contestant will play to win a fabulous grand prize by showing us what they know about Rotary. I'm your announcer, Larry Moss, here with your host, Phil Jenkins.
Hey, Phil, yay. All right, well, let's get started by telling the audience about today's grand prize.
I'll ask the audience to direct their attention to their screens. Today's contestant will be playing for £5. Wait a minute, Phil. When I recommended £5, I was talking about £5 British sterling.
£5 of sterling silver? Rotary Trivia can't afford that.
We're talking currency here.
All right. Let's take it from today's contestant.
Okay. Today's contestant will be playing for £5 British sterling. A donation will be made to our Overseas Guest Club to be applied to a project of their choice. Certain restrictions may apply, such as funds shall not be used for the purchase of pints at the local pub. But wait, there's more. With a correct answer, we will double our prize. That's right, our contestant will receive a second £5 note. Just pay separate shipping and handling. Retail value of today's grand prize, it's a no-brainer, £10.
Oh, there you go. Well, 10 pounds is good, but I was thinking bigger maybe. I was thinking maybe 2,000 pounds. But then, 2,000 pounds is a ton of money. Anyway, how about introducing today's contestant?
Today's contestant was selected at random from our virtual audience just moments ago. After all the work to come up with the correct answer, this Rotarian will have no choice but to take 10. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to Kendall.
Hey, Kendall.
Yeah, that'll teach you to grow up. Now you got to play. You're a smart guy. You're a scientist, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I'm a pharmacist. Yeah.
A pharmacist. Well, close enough. Well, I think we're going to be one and the same. But anyway, we do have a question about Rotary, and we'll see how it all goes. See what you do and don't know about Rotary.
Okay. I had a terrible feeling this would come up.
Yeah, this is multiple guess, so there'll be 4 choices.
Can I call a friend?
Call a friend. You know what? I'll tell you what. I'm feeling very generous. Anybody from the Hertfordshire Club, they're in.
They're in. I thought they would be in there.
You can ask a friend, but you're the channel.
Oh, God, yeah.
Rotary Club, chartered in England. The Rotary Club of Manchester, Greater Manchester. Rotary Club of Birmingham, West Midlands. Rotary Club of London, Greater London. Or the Rotary Club of Hertfordshire. The first club.
I think it's London.
But, pretty confident, huh? Okay.
No.
In 1911.
I told you, someone would know. Yes, we have Ninja Nick in the background.
Well, that's the guy that's going to get the money because he's the treasurer, so I know where to send it.
Yeah.
Won't make it to the pub, will it?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see. C, final answer?
I think C's my final answer.
Okay, good enough. Let's see what it's not. Well, I'm sorry, it wasn't the Hertfordshire. Yeah, how about that? Nor was it the Birmingham. So Manchester or London? You're right. You are correct. You are going
for that. There we go.
But wait, there's more. Rotary becomes Intercontinental. On the 1st of August in 1912, the Rotary Club of London, Greater London, England, became the first Rotary Club in Europe. Although Rotary had already become international in April of that year with the chartering of the Rotary Club of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, the club in the United Kingdom earned Rotary distinction of being an intercontinental organization. And, a little bit further, it didn't even make it onto, I'll say, the European continent until like let's see, I do have that trivia here, 21 with the founding of the Rotary Club of Madrid, Spain. So it was there. And I'll tell you another interesting, as I was going through this, is that is held in England. There's actually, and I believe it's still here, it's Rotary International in Great Britain and Ireland. It's the only remaining, I'll say, territorial unit. And what that really means, it has the administrative capability. They can approve applications and issue charters and things of that nature. So it's the only one that yet remains in the world. But anyway, Kendall, you are a winner. I will make sure I'll put that money. I have it right here. I'll make sure that money gets into an envelope. You give me the address. It's off. Put it towards a good cause and enjoy. Thanks for playing, Kendall.
Thanks, guys. Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, great job. Great job. Thanks a lot. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right. We're going to welcome other guests. We won't have time to speak during the meeting, but as I mentioned earlier, we are going to stay on a little bit longer. I'll ring the bell at 8 o'clock if we're at a good break point, and then you guys can commiserate after 8 o'clock. All right. Moving on, we have our guest from the other side of the pond, Kendall Pitt. We have a presentation from Kendall. Welcome, Kendall. Can you get, you're going to give a brief, there we go.
Yeah. Is it showing?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me here today to speak. What I was going to talk about was a bit about my time at Harleysville, because we were just saying, well, how long ago was it? I was in the United States. A bit about the towns of Hertford and Ware, which is where Hertford Shires are based, and then a bit more about Rotary in the Lee Valley. And then what do we do as a club, and what are we doing now as a club post COVID? So I was in the United States for about 3 years. I came across as part of Merck Sharp and Dome. I worked in the UK for 6 or 7 years before that. And these are shots on that period of time from that. So my son was born over there, Barty, that was, and that shot was taken December 1998. We're in New Jersey, overlooking the Hudson. And obviously you've got the Twin Towers in the background. And in no way could we ever conceived at the time, but they weren't going to be there 3 years later on, that there was going to be 9/11. So in many ways, it's like similar in ways to like COVID, that we could never have predicted what was going to happen back in 1998, just as we can't predict, but we got through it all. We went into the United States. We decided to live the American lifestyle as much as we could. So there's Barty in a Radio Flyer truck being pulled along. That slim looking gentleman on the left is one of your former presidents, Craig Fleshman. And he invited me across for 4th of July party. And that's the first time I ever saw a gas barbecue. That was that. I thought it was very impressive. Craig was out in the veranda sweating away on a gas barbecue. We were inside in the air conditioning playing with the kids because it's one of those hot, sticky days. So stayed in United States to the end of 2000, came back to Britain. And then 5 years later, I was made an offer I couldn't refuse in a pub and moved from Sharp and Dome to Glaxo. And about a couple of years after that, I moved house and changed Rotary clubs within that. Now, to help people with their geography, here is a map of the United Kingdom, probably as you've never seen it before. I am a visiting professor in pharmacy, so this is one of the pictures I use to illustrate a point about marketing and what they get up to. But this is a map of Great Britain in tablets. So here's London, this big white blob down the bottom here. So that's approximately the size of London. Hertford and Ware is about 25 miles north of London, so we're out in the countryside, so we're there. And here is Scotland for those people who want to know where it is. And if you look at the end of the arrow of Scotland, I've no idea why someone decided to the north of Glasgow and Edinburgh, they were going to drop that well-known blue diamond tablet from Pfizer. So moving swiftly on from Viagra and joys like that, Hertford has a castle, you see. We're quite, it's quite impressive castle within that. Here is as many uses. Here's my son abseiling down the side of the castle on their carnival day. Now, if you were to jump down a scheduled ancient monument, normally you get arrested for doing that. But of course, being the Scouts, you get a badge for actually abseiling that distance. It has quite a lot of uses, the castle. So when we have our Jubilees, it's used as for the Jubilee celebrations. We're getting them about every 5 years at the moment. As the Queen's getting on a bit, we've got one in about 18 months' time when she gets to 70. And she desperately tries to keep Charles off the throne for as long as possible on that. Just to put some perspective about Hertford Castle, it was built by Henry VIII's grandfather, and that was Edward IV. And he built it in the 1460s, this gatehouse. So this gatehouse had been standing for about 30 years before Christopher Columbus set off and discovered the Americas. So this is Hertford. So what do the guidebooks say about Ware? Well, Ware is an ancient market town, and it has an annual carnival, and people can participate in it. And here we see fine examples of the Rotary Club of Hertfordshire from a few years ago taking part in the carnival. Now, whatever Rotary Club you're in, it's always amazed me what Rotarians keep in their closets and what they can get dressed up in. If you want elves, then they'll appear as elves. If you want Dickensian people, they'll appear as people like Dickensians. If you want to pretend that Ware's a Roman town, out come the tablecloths and people dressed in togas. In this case, we are doing Rock Around the Clock. And the quiz for the Hertfordshire's people is, I hope you do recognise our former president and former treasurer who's in the lead there, dressed as a rocker. So it's got a fine, it's got a carnival. It also has a Lido, an outdoor swimming pool. This was refurbished courtesy of Glaxo about 4 or 5 years ago, who gave luxury items like hot water in the showers, all the other things which we weren't ever quite used to at that time. And then money was raised by the club and put together a Lido, a play area and a Lido. And the railings, of course, are deliberately rotary blue for that purpose, with the gate yellow, so people can get in and out on that. So how we organise the club? We are a consortium of 5 clubs. This was put together to pre-COVID to help the clubs support one another within the area of the Lee Valley. So you can see that there's 5 clubs in there, 5 main clubs and 2 satellites. The satellites are themed as yours are as well. So for example, Amwell is a cycling club, so it's a way of broadening out Rotary. We're part of District 1260. And so we have the original Bedfordshire and Buckinghamshire, although in the districts you have the copy of Buckinghamshire in your district. The districts in the UK are slightly smaller. So these are about 1,000 Rotarians per district, and you tend to be about 2,000. Also, they're a lot smaller geographically. It's only about an hour and a half to get from one side of the district to the other, provided you stick to the speed limit, that is. As indicated, we are the last territorial set. We are part of Rotary GBI, Rotary Great Britain and Ireland, which means that we have our own separate president who then reports into Rotary International. No, our club was chartered in 1996. So the Hertfordshire's people are on the call. We really do need to think what we're going to do to celebrate 25 years without the benefit of COVID stopping us doing what we'd normally do, which might involve alcohol and being together. A key part of the club is we set up Friends of Rotary. President Phil reinvigorated that last year. It's people who want to be associated with Rotary, but haven't got the time, or in a case of Hertfordshire's, don't want to get up early in the morning, just like your club, but still want to help out, and have been very, very useful for many of the events. On the right is a technology tournament, which is an example of what the 5 clubs do put together as part of the Lee Valley Consortium. This is my son's school. They're 15-year-olds, so they are stretching the interpretation of school uniform as far as they can and still getting away with it. What they're making is they get given a task with the wood and the balsa. In this case, they're trying to make a rocket to launch it up into the sky. Different age groups get different things to do. The younger ones try to do it as well. They tend to have a belief that glue will work, and of course it doesn't. So it's all quite entertaining, and we judge how it happens at the end. Rotary is very much service above self, isn't it? We are organised very similar to you all are. Your board is, we call the council, but the people who really do the work are committees. And this is ComCom, which is Community Committee, and ably led by Rosemary at the moment. So these are some of the events that we get involved in. Lend a Hand, where people go around doing errands and odd jobs for people. Stroke Aware, where people go and Ware High Street, Rotarians, identify candidates to have their blood pressure tested. And it's surprising how many people are picked out and are walking around timed on with their high blood pressures. We do seniors bingo and tea. That's where we fetch, I would say the elders, to a village hall, give them tea, give them bingo, and then take them back again. And that's really more about companionship, because that's clearly one of the things which we're concerned about as well with COVID. It's the mental health, it's the isolation, and that's something I'll pick up later on as we go forward. We also help out with food banks. Again, it's quite surprising that an area as prosperous as Hertfordshire, and also your own area, has food banks and food drives in. You know, it is a sign that there is poverty out there, and that's what Rotary is aiming to do, both locally and internationally. We also run a fireworks event. This is on the 5th of November, not the 4th of July. We don't celebrate you leaving us on the 4th of July. On the 5th of November, we celebrate Guy Fawkes trying to blow up Parliament on that and failing. And then we do Santa Sleigh, where we take Santa around the streets in a sleigh on the back of a truck with his little sleigh, and then give out goodwill and rattle buckets to collect money. So that's what ComCom does. We also work with schools a lot. Osborne dictionaries. These are dictionaries we give out to the schools in children who are in probably grade 6. It's a Rotary dictionary. It's got Rotary all over it, so it's a matter of getting them young, getting people interested in it. We also do an essay competition. We work with the schools, because in the national curricula for English schools, they have to talk about the future and past. So we set them an essay to do in cooperation with the schools, which says, what do you want to do when you leave school? And it's a fiercely caught competition. We do the assessment on this. And of course, we've been doing this for a number of years. So you can see President Nick, old Nick in the background there, and Bill, one of our long-standing members. But what's interesting about this is to see what happens to the people, because we are part of the area. We do work with them. So, for example, Florence, who won it in 2003, wanting to become an artist, actually went on to Cambridge University and graduated as an architect. So it's interesting to see where she went. And then Dan, who won it in 2011, wanting to be a journalist, then went off to university and actually changed completely and is now making money as an accountant. But it's very interesting to see how people who win Rotary competitions then go on to greater things within that. As ever, people think we're running these events for the benefit of the people. Really, of course, we're running them for our benefit as well. This is one event which we run called Youth or Young Chef. It's not Gordon Ramsay style of catering or anything else like that. This is where schools run their own internal competition, and then the winners come to us, and we run an area contest within that. So the Rotarians like it because we get to taste the food, and it's all very, very high quality food. The important thing is we involve the community. So in this picture on the right, we've got Andreas Lusman, who is the guy right at the back, who owns a chain of restaurants, or 3 of them. And there's his chef, who was helping to do the judging. And then these are the 3 winners. But of course, the important thing is we get a photo of them, we actually get our name on it, and then we put it on social media and into the local press. So these are sort of youth and community sort of events which we're running. The Ware Guidebook of Ware, and much on the Red Book, also talks about the highlights of the Dragon Boats event. This is something we run. We run it to raise charity, whereby people put teams in and then race against one another and are sponsored. This is on the River Lee. You can see one of these very nice little white sheds at the back, which is a 17th century gazebo for people to overlook the river. So as I said, they're keenly thought out. As I say, people do take it very seriously. On the left, you can see people have got the war paint on. It's quite interesting to see the teams who take part. It's not strength which matters. So quite often the rugby teams or the football teams take part and usually sink the boat because they're so uncoordinated. It's a matter of coordination and skill. On the right, you see the happy band of Rotarians, because these things take a lot of planning. These are people on the riverbank. There's another group of people up on the school field who are serving food, running the event, doing car parking, etc., all the things which make them run. I'm this sort of sitting down on the job, looking as though I know what's going on, with a Harleysville hat on, by the way, from that tat which we get sent out every now and then and purchase with that. And you've got these 4 distinguished looking gentlemen. And what came to mind is when you look at some of our photographs, it is rather like the President Nixon quote of, would you buy a second-hand car of any of these people if they approached you in the street? But here we all are, being jolly and carrying on. So, segue into what happens next. Well, February the 29th was an interesting day. President Philip has his birthday on the 29th of February. So he was away celebrating his 18th birthday that day. We were at a one-day conference. We have one-day Rotary conferences. And it was in the middle of this that there was a guest speaker. And the guest speaker was someone called, who was Dame Stella Rimington. Now, she is the head of MI5. That was a real life job. And in the Bond film, she's M. So the woman who is James Bond's boss is M. And actually both staggeringly look like one another. They're both grey-haired ladies, and they're both looking the same within that. But what happened in that was my text went off, and I looked down on it, and it was from the GSK board. And I thought, saying they'd had a board meeting. Now, I thought that's unusual for the GSK board meeting to meet on a Saturday. That means they're not on the golf courses, they're not on their stud farms, they're not on their yachts, bearing in mind the CEO of GSK, Glaxo, is the daughter of a rear admiral. So something clearly has gone on, and it was an instruction to not to travel, and to disperse. We were to go in on the Monday, take our computers and work from home. So I thought this COVID-19 is clearly going to be quite important. Something's going on here. And I remember going in, because I share offices with statistics people and modelers, and we said, how long are we going to be out of action for? So he said, 6 months, I reckon we could be. It's not going to be 2 weeks, it isn't flu. So, and that was going on for a year ago. So that was it. We were then locked down. So the significance of Ascension Day is, this is now my long-suffering wife, Joan. I told you everybody reappears again in these photos. It's me. We're in what you might refer to as a mass transit facility. It's a bus shelter. At this time, we are under lockdown. The libraries are shut, and people have converted their bus shelters into libraries. And luckily, my wife and I like cycling, even better, but we like cycling in the rain because there's not a lot else to do. So we're in here, and we had that conversation, which went along the lines of, the advantage of COVID is I no longer travel, so I can become the president of Hertford Shires. I've not really been able to do that before, because at any point I could be yanked away. So having got the permission of my management that I could apply to be Hertford Shires president, I phoned up Philip, who was ecstatic about that. And so I think I become the first president in living memory not to be intoxicated when he has agreed to become the next president along the way. So that's where we are. We're under COVID. We're still under COVID when it comes to presidential handover, which is by Zoom. We have at this stage, we are into 15th week of lockdown. No schools, no hairdressers, no anything else like that. People have got the grim choice of either having their partners cut their hair or let it grow. And so quite a few people took the latter option from that. So here we are all smiling away, looking forward to the day that we can get out. So Rotary does carry on. Hertford Shires carried on. Purple Pinky, which is in polio campaign, Pinky from the fact that the children who were inoculated get their thumbs painted pink to stop them coming back round for another sugar cube. Winston Churchill said, never waste a crisis. So we certainly didn't. And Jasmine certainly didn't in our club. We went out and made masks because she went out and sold them during the 2 lockdowns that we had. So this is the Christmas selection for your Christmas lockdown. I went for the rather fetching blue Christmas trees, and my wife had the red reindeer. So we went out and carried on. Jasmine has threatened to throw the said sewing machine into the River Lee because she's fed up with seeing it, having produced literally hundreds of these, but she's still with us and still an active member of that. So not wasting a crisis, we carried on. So what have we been trying to do? Community and youth carried on. Youth, we can still do young citizen. We couldn't do young environmentalists because that was with the high schools. They are under complete stress as to are they going to be in any day, who they're going to have. Essay competition is taking place. We worked that straight across into, you can do that by scanning in. It's we hope to be able to present to them live, but we can do this over Zoom. So the entire thing, the schools are quite happy to do that because it also fits in with their thing. They may not be going back in January to schools. These are the primary schools, but they can do that. And we are still hoping to run Rotary Youth Leadership and Action. You have Camp Nidic, I believe, from the time when I was in Rotary. We had RAF Henlow, although that got closed and now we've moved to somewhere in North London. We hope to run that. ComCom, as ever, was still carrying on. Seniors team bingo wasn't face-to-face. It was done. People dropped off packages and parcels and given a quiz, I think, rather than a bingo to do. A COVID-friendly assembly line was put together to put all the stuff together. And then they repeated it all again at Christmas. For the benefit of the language issues here, biscuits in this case doesn't mean slabs of pastry you put gravy on. This is English biscuits, which are actually cookies. So before you think we've been rather bizarrely giving people gravy biscuits or gravy pastries, it has there. Again, all coordinated by Rosemary and her willing team to actually go out, using the generosity of people around who are willing to give you stuff to give out. It's a matter of organising it to carry on. So what did we get up to keep us amused? Well, we decided we would do a drive-in cinema. Now, this is a horrific amount of organisation to do. You've got to find a field. So I believe that the field we got, this is the Bishop of St Albans field. It's one of his many fields he has lying around. So we've got it. We did all the organisation. An outside company gave us the screens. You can see sort of midfield, someone with a long pole. That is the plastic pipe, the COVID pipe, to make certain that the cars that are 3 meters apart, which we have to put them. As ever, this looks very fine event. It's all very, very run. We involved all the clubs because we had to have people who could get out and who were sheltering. But you're Rotarians, you know what's really going on in the background, which is that there's an awful lot of activity going on in the background. This is a typical sort of Rotary gathering. You have our President Carson serenely overlooking what's going on as everybody has a chat, and one person is actually sitting there writing down cards. Over on the right, we have the catering being done. This all had to be done using apps and computing power. We had David Griffiths, who was a whiz, putting this all together. So the app had to be able to order tickets, collect the money, and then go and order food. Well, once you've put this enormous amount of effort in to put together a platform which you can then use for your club, you can then adapt it for Santa. And then much to my surprise, much to my amazement, I should say, the same app was modified to say, give us your name of your child, what have they done well, what presents do they want? And these videos were produced of this. This is a screenshot. Down here, you have an enthralled child looking at a personalized video. This is a friend of Rotary, namely Louise's husband, who too, key qualification, likes to dress up. This is Santa. One of our friends of Rotary is an I think BBC cameraman and put it together. And so you use your app, you order up your bits and pieces, and then you'll get a video prepared, and a lot of hard work goes into that, but this has been quite amazing within that. And again, it's useful. It's a useful way to get people involved and keep the club going forward, as we couldn't be else this year. So I'll come to the conclusion saying happy holidays. We're looking forward to what we're going to have next year. Certainly I am as president. And I'll end there and say open to any comments, questions, or heckling from my own club. I haven't deliberately mentioned international because, again, that will be an entirely presentation on its own. Rosemary, not only does she do ComCom, but goes out to the Gambia with Ian and does work out there. So by all means, talk about that. I haven't talked about shelter boxes, I haven't talked about Dickensian evening, just a highlight. So I'll stop there and throw it open to any comments, suggestions, complaints, and heckling, etc. So thank you.
Great job. Thanks, Kendall. That was amazing. Amazing. Any questions, comments for our presenter from across the pond? Ninja Nick.
Hi, I have a question, Kendall. This is Marcia. Have you been able to get any new members joining in your club during the COVID shutdown? Or have you lost any, you know, because maybe they perhaps lost their jobs and couldn't afford to remain a member?
At the moment, we are neutral. We had some people who, one person was going to leave at the end of last year anyway, and he did. But since then, we've actually been neutral as far. We haven't lost anybody else. We haven't gained. One or two people I invited to the cinema were ex-Rotary actors, and they were quite impressed, particularly our impersonations of zombies walking around at 2 meters apart, trying not to do that. So there are prospective members. The answer is we haven't. Overall, the district has gained 2 members. So it is still going on. It'll be interesting to see that. Have you been able to induct new members or get new members in post-COVID?
Yes, I think we're +3 this year.
That's good, yeah.
I was a bit concerned how long his presentation was going on, so I thought about putting a mask on just in case.
No, Kendall, you did a great job.
There you are. There is one of Jasmine's wonderful masks, modelled by our Ninja Nick.
How many masks did Jasmine make? Do you know?
Oh, it's a couple of hundred, 200 to 300, something like that. It was phenomenal. I think it was over £1,000 was raised, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quite amazing. She said never again. Well, she did it again, actually. Yeah. And her husband, who's also a Rotarian, was roped in as ever to cut them out.
We had several people in our club making masks also that were, I think we pretty much donated all of them. I don't know if Lisa Rice is on the call, but I think it was something like 470. Does that sound right, Dan?
Yeah, something like
I think
that,
they
yes.
donated to, was it hospitals and other medical staff people?
Right.
Yeah, similar sort of thing was hospital scrubs are in terrible short supply. So people were running those up as well on their machines. I think Jasmine and her extended friends, who are friends of Rotary, took part in that. But it was an effort to try to get this distributed around.
Excellent.
Yeah, there were lots of shortages of materials too, because everybody and their brother was trying to make masks.
Yeah.
Right. Bob?
Yeah. Can I just add? Sorry, it's Carson, the president.
Hi, Carson is our much long-suffering president.
Hi, Carson. Sorry.
Just to add that Jasmine raised something about £1,100 just selling the mask, and everything was donated to Polio.
Excellent. Good. Bob?
Yeah, I want to congratulate you for that drive-in theater with the movie. I think that's a great way to keep separated during COVID. And if you could, tell us, what kind of screen did you have? How did you project your movie?
Oh, I wasn't on the technical side. I just counted the bodies coming in. Hamish, you were on this. Hamish, if you're on the call, can you enlighten us, because he might have dropped.
You're muted at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, I was also there, but it's.
Sorry, Hamish, you're muted. He's still muted.
Well,
yeah,
okay.
I'm muted there. Sometimes the space bar works and sometimes it doesn't.
There you go.
Yes, it was a 10-meter wide screen. So it's basically a blow-up, air-inflated screen, a bit like a bouncy castle in design, but obviously a screen. And there's a little, I don't know if you saw the picture, there's a little tent in front of the screen. That was the projector. And the interesting thing about it is that this company called the Silent Cinema Company have radio headphones. So you don't have to make a loud, you don't have to have PA to get the sound or use radios in cars. You just give everyone a headset. That really worked very well. Good event.
Right.
Wonderful idea.
Definitely. Actually, Bob, our parent club, Soldered in Telford, they did something similar, but they had an LED screen.
Yeah.
So instead of having a projector, it was off a big LED screen. Does anyone have any other questions for Kendall? We have 3 minutes for our meeting.
Just a comment, Dan. When I was president, I instituted a joke of the week feature where it was my sworn duty to come up with a joke that was funny, topical, and non-offensive. So I offer the following: What's the difference between a buffalo and a bison?
I know. Spelling.
No, yes. I can't. Do you want me to do the accent?
A buffalo is a large furry animal, and a bison is a thing you wash your bison.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, really. On that note, I want to thank our guests for coming on. This was an amazing meeting. Thanks, Mark Singh-Hooter, for putting this together. This was an amazing kickoff for 2021. Mark, do you have any comments? I don't see your picture on the screen. Mark, are you still with us? Oh, there you are. Okay. Mark.
I am still here. Kendall, thank you so much. And I have to say, I grew up in Papua New Guinea and went to boarding school in Australia, and hearing God Save the Queen, that's what we sang for the first 20 years of my life. But thank you all. It was wonderful, informative, and thoroughly enjoyable.
One last question. What was the movie you were watching?
Rocket Man. Elton John's Rocket Man.
Oh, Rocket Man. That's nice. Rocket Thank Man, you.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for joining. If you want to hang out, you can. We're going to end the meeting with our brags and sags. I want to start off by saying we have been blessed over the past year to stay in contact with each other through Zoom, and we haven't been affected too deeply personally as a club, but our prayers definitely go out to everyone in Great Britain and around the world dealing with COVID and the economic things that are going on. So that's kind of my sag and my brag, that I'm hopeful that things are going to move forward in a positive light. Anyone else?
Oh, yes, I have the one. John Benavage and his wife Cindy and their son Zach all came down with COVID. Zach had a very mild case. Cindy and John were worse. Christmas Eve morning, John had to be taken to a local hospital because he had breathing and oxygen level problems. He just was released yesterday and is back home, although he's still on oxygen and has, I guess, some home caregivers are coming to attend to him. So just wanted to give everybody an update on our member, John.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Marcia.
Lynn
Walter. Lynn Walter.
Good to see you. Great meeting, and good to see you again, Kendall, and all your friends from the UK. Also, Jack and Jim. Good to have you on. On a personal note, I also caught the COVID bug and was on quarantine until Christmas Day. So I had a mild case, so I'm thankful for all of that. So I'm back to just about 100%. And hopefully 2021 is a better year.
Yes. All right. Well,
welcome
back, Glenn. Yes. Welcome back. All right.
Hey, Jack Brent, good to see you. We get your little emails, but it's good to see you again.
Good to see you, Frank. Hey.
Yes, Jack. Good to see you.
Thank you. I just wanted to brag that we've been blessed because the area we live in North Carolina is so isolated to a degree that the local authorities have been letting us meet at one of our local restaurants. So we had some Zoom meetings early on, but now that we're restricted with certain regulations, and we do practice all the social distancing and all the other good things that we've been taught, but we've been able to meet in person by and large. And we have a strange area of North Carolina where the police departments do not enforce the government's regulations. It's strange, but
Wow.
it's interesting.
All right. Well, you guys stay safe there. Definitely. Anyone else for Bragg and Sag?
Dan,
Yes.
this is Mona. And Marcia. If indeed you want flowers to go to anyone who's either been sick or coming home from the hospital, if someone can shoot me an email about it and an address, I will be glad to take care of that so that it comes from our club.
Yeah, you know what, Mona? This is Marcia. I will put it in today's newsletter. John and Cindy's home address was in last week's too, but it'll be in there again today.
All right, but if you'd like that to go, I don't want to just to assume, everyone, but
sure, I think it'd be a great idea.
Right.
Take care of that for the club.
Thank you, Mona.
A lot of that, can we run it through the kindness committee? That would be Sandy.
Okay.
Run it through Sandy, then you guys can kind of disseminate it from there.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, ladies. All right. This has been an amazing meeting. We had, I think at the height, about 35 people on. Thanks, everyone, for joining. This has been an amazing year. Gary Volpe, welcome back. You had been missing for a while. You doing okay?
Just a couple of meetings. I'm fine.
Okay.
Good to be back. This was a fantastic meeting. It really very interesting. And this is the type of thing, when you put these clubs together like this, I think you said Mark did this, put this together. This helps all clubs grow when you do something like this. Very entertaining, very good to meet the people across the pond there.
Yes. Gary Volpe is the media past president of Harleysville. He's also the membership chair for the district. So he's been doing an amazing job. And I just, your name caught my eye just for a second. I was going to close the meeting out. We're at 8:05. We're closing the meeting out. This is the year of opportunity. So every meeting I try to set up an opportunity quote. And this one comes from the great philosopher, Marilyn Monroe, who said, within crisis are seeds of opportunity. Within crisis are seeds of opportunity. That was a thing. That was something from Marilyn Monroe. So definitely seize the opportunity to make connections and do well in the community. I'm going to end the meeting, but if you guys want to stay on, you can.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
All right. I'm stopping the recording, but if you guys